Hello and welcome to a conversion of Super Monaco Grand Prix on the Commodore 64. This is a conversion from Sega coin-op. And as you can see, there's some attempt to have some reasonable presentation screens. We'll just go for I'll just go for automatic gears. I think I've been a bit lazy. I'll tell you what, I'll go for some manual gears. Now this part of the game is well handled. There was a nice presentation there, but unfortunately, once the actual game loads in, the good news is it's a single load game. The bad news is the presentation seems to get a bit shabby. Actually. This is a little disappointing. We'll see as soon as this loads up. I'll just speed up the loading in the emulator here. Okay, so here we are at qualifying. Now, I mean the road routine is not great. It's not the worst road routine I've seen on the 64, but I think it's a little disappointing because I mean, there's a mirror at the top that's almost as big as the actual main display at the bottom, and there's very little difference in sensation of speed between slow and fast. It's just all or nothing really. I mean, if I slow down, it just looks as if it's going, if I'm at now at 50 miles an hour, and if I go faster, it doesn't really look as if it's going any faster. It's just, I don't think the displays, it's not got enough range or in terms of how far it extends to the horizon. I think it just doesn't give that good a sensation of distance. The sensation of speed's okay, but there's not much variety in it. The little car at the bottom is nicely drawn, nicely animated, but now, unlike the coin-op, I think this does have more than one track. And the track obviously you play in Monaco, but here we're starting in France. Now the engine sounds okay. Actually, it's certainly not with the worst sound I've heard. The skid sounds okay as well. It's okay. Here we are, a bit of presentation here. A nice screen. Tells us where we qualified, which is 10th, so not great, but yeah, the sound effects are okay. They're by Euroncell. The music's by Euroncell, and he did some nice music on the the main loading stage, and some in-game tunes or tunelets, and the sound effects are nice and meaty. Now also the end game is to stay ahead of the position limit, so I'm now 10th, I need to get ahead of that. Or I'm 11th, sorry, I need to be at least 10th. So I don't think I'm going to last much longer. Okay, so now we're at game over, and look, there's no pause, it just immediately restarts the game. There's no title screen or or game over screen. It's just a matter of, it just restarts the game. So as far as I'm concerned, the presentation is extremely shabby. I would expect more from a budget game, never mind a full price game than this was. I mean, also they just ran out of memory, but I mean, it doesn't take more memory to say game over or have a a screen that says press fire to start or something, but it just throws you back at the beginning. Now, one of the hardest things about this game is that if you crash lightly, you're okay, but if you do a heavy crash, it's game over. Right, now watch this. Just restarts right again. That's a pathetic presentation as far as I'm concerned. It makes the game feel like it's half finished, which I suspect it was rushed out to meet its summer or Christmas deadline. I can't remember what time of year it came out. I think it came out probably 91 maybe. I mean, I'm not actually doing very well here. Now it does alternate between, not alternate, but you can have either have dry or wet races. When it's wet, there's no rain effect. It's just the sky goes grey, and the car's a bit, you know, has less grip. But, now, unfortunately, this got a quite high review on C64. And on the strength of that review, I bought the game at full price, and I have to say I was quite disappointed with it. I mean, I tried to play it, and the core of the gameplay is here, I think, but it's just it needs a bit of refinement, for sure. So, yeah, what will I rate this? Well, I think it sounds okay, and the graphics they're not great. I mean, the roadside graphics are okay, but you know, I've seen much better. The perspective of the roads is okay. It's, you know, it's fairly standard for 64, but it's fast enough, and you know, and it's at least it scrolls left right rather than just have the car move. So yeah, from that point of view, it's okay. But, and the mirror at the top's good. I qualified 4th this time, but unfortunately, the other cars just drive into you. But, no, the other cars are quite nicely drawn, I must admit. Yeah, in terms of the gameplay itself, I find quite frustrating and not really all that enjoyable. I mean, there's a reasonable sensation of speed, I think, but yeah, you can't actually catch the cars on the straight. You've got to wait till they're in the corner, then they slow down and you pass them. So yeah. Which means that cornering is quite hard, because that's where you tend to bump into cars. No, I think overall I'll give this, I think this is a very mediocre game. Bordering on poor, actually. Yeah, I mean, technically I think it's quite sound, but in terms of its presentation and actual gameplay, I don't think it's all that great. I'll give this a 4.5 out of 10. That's all for this video.